All right. So what's up, everybody? We're starting a little bit early today, just because I got a little antsy and I'm kind of like wired and hyped up right now. Um, it's just a few minutes, but anyway, welcome back to another live stream, quarantine live stream. Thank you guys so much for checking out all the other ones and being there and just being in the chat. Just even if you're popping in and saying hi, I really do appreciate it. These are just for my sanity to a certain to a certain aspect, just so that way I can talk with you guys and hang out with you guys and just chill and stuff. Yeah, so let's see. I know everybody's still kind of like popping in and stuff like that, but yeah. So essentially, I kind of forgot about today's live stream. I didn't. Well, okay. No, I totally forgot. Um, I was out and about getting some essentials and things like that, and came back home, and I was bringing in stuff, and I don't know if you guys do this, but I have to wipe all my stuff down. I get weird about it. Just it's better to be safe than sorry. So I start wiping everything down, and my wife was like, "Yeah, she was talking about oh man, there was a certain topic I can't remember now." Weirdly enough, there was a certain topic that she was bringing up, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm going to talk about it on today's live." And I was like, "Oh crap!" And I looked at my watch, and I was like, "Damn it, it's like 2:30." So I was like running in and out of the house, getting the stuff and wiping everything down and make sure everything was clean. And then I had to come run upstairs and change and set up the camera and the laptop and all this other stuff. So if I seem a little frazzled right now, that's that's essentially why. But yeah, so how are you guys doing out there? Have you guys experienced any weird like you know quarantine uh quarantine things like while you're out getting essentials and things like that? I haven't seen anything too crazy, but I did see a grown adult in a basket with like a 20-pound bag of dog food getting pushed by I'm gonna assume is his wife. So yeah, that's probably the weirdest thing that I've seen. But yeah, other than that, nothing too crazy. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, okay. The other thing was I literally came in and I was wearing this. As you can see here, has anybody been wearing masks out there? I mean, essentially, it's kind of semi-mandatory now, which I'm fine with. I have no problem with these masks. Um, my wife made me this mask, and she has no sewing experience whatsoever, and it's pretty impressive, I guess if I have to say so. Um, you see there, it's like Marvel centric stuff like that. Really cool and very comfortable. And I was just very kind of shocked that she just like decided in her brain that she was gonna make a couple of masks for for us as a family, and a couple of friends and things like that. So the idea that she just tossed this to me, she's like, "Go ahead and try it on, see what you think." I'm like, "Wow, it actually feels very comfortable." And it also feels and looked like I just came back from battling in the Mortal Kombat tournament. Every time I put it on and I walk by like a window or mirror and I see my reflection, the first thing that comes to mind is Mortal Kombat. So I was like, okay, but very cool, very comfortable. It is kind of strange that we're in a I guess in the days now that this is kind of like normal, which is very odd. Um, that this is going to be, I guess, our life for who knows how long, moving forward. Hopefully not forever, but yeah. And then I see people fighting against it, and they're like so against all this stuff, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't mind it. It's fine to me. I feel perfectly fine wearing a mask. I stated before that I was already very much a person that just kind of stays inside, and stuff like that. I felt like as I got older, it kept me out of trouble. to be perfectly honest. So I'm already used to it. I'm already used to kind of like being inside half the time, and not going out too much unless I have to. Um, and as far as the whole like washing hands and sanitizer, that was already me beforehand. So I don't see anything different with it. I know there's a lot of people that are like, once you tell somebody like, oh, you have to do this, they're like, why are you telling me what to do? You know what I mean? So I understand that aspect, but at the same time, this is kind of for all of our own good, to a certain extent. So I mean, I don't think that it's a bad thing. I really don't. But anyway, yeah, one of the to I guess to go away from like life stuff, I guess you could say for a minute. I downloaded recently an app on my phone, and it's not new. I think is it called Macari or something like that? It's kind of like a like an eBay or an OfferUp, or what's that other app called? I can't left something I can't remember, but it's a buy and sell trade kind of app. So I started frequenting that app recently, and I found something pretty cool that I didn't really expect. I haven't even posted it on Instagram yet. I was going to, but so you guys are getting the first look of what of what I got, and it was a Cinderella. This is a metal pack. It isn't steelbook. I think this is before steelbooks were getting popular, and this was like a pre-order bonus. Whenever you ordered the Cinderella Diamond Edition. And I've been wanting one of these, this one and the Lion King for a while. And believe it or not, I ended up scoring this for like about $5 with like $2 shipping. So that's not bad. I was very shocked at how I made out with this one. The Lion King one, man, I kept kind of going back and forth with the guy, and I was like, all right, is it in good shape? And he's like, yeah. Is it still in the wrapper? Yes. Is it out of the, is there any sort of tears? I'm very particular when it comes to stuff like that, especially what like older collectibles. I don't open everything, just because I do have that collector mindset still. But so I kept going back and forth with this guy. And he was like, yeah, it's perfect. There's no dents, no dings, nothing. I was like, okay, cool. I'll take it. And then I didn't hear back from him. And I was about to pay. And then he messaged me back. He's like, oh, it's gone. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, dang. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I was like, no. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to, fret about it or nothing. I'm not going to get upset because you got to do what you got to do, And then I went on eBay. I found the same exact metal pack for Lion King Diamond Edition, and I started bidding up against this person, and literally there was 12 minutes left. Right, the starting bid was $11, and I waited until the last very second. Which again, you have to, I mean that's how the eBay game works, right? So I waited until the very last second. And I bid right when it was like 30 seconds left or something like that. And then real quick, somebody bid 50 cents ahead. I was like, crap. So I went, I was like hurrying up, and I bid $1.50 ahead. And no, I'm sorry, it was $1. And then they bid 50 cents. So I bid 50 cents. But by the time that I was about to bid the next 50 cents or $1, they literally edged me out by 50 freaking cents. So I was like, oh, okay. And then all the other ones that I've been seeing, they were going for like $30, $40. So I was like, I'm going to have to hold off and wait my turn for, for another chance at that metal pack. I'm trying to go back and buy some of the stuff that I maybe missed out on when I was younger. And things that, I either that or I had and had to sell. So it's kind of one of those moments where I'm trying to go back and get the things of my youth, the things that made me happy at some point, and which just sounds kind of bad, to be honest with you, because it sounds like it's um, I'm trying to fill a void. That's what it sounds like. For some reason, I'm looking online right now. For some reason, the chat isn't filling, and that's why I was trying to kind of keep talking with all these stories. But I looked on my phone and I see the chat is fine right here. So that's weird. Martinez Joe says, "Hey Dave, Movie Master Marco, how's it going? Great. Glad to see you guys here. I thought literally that you guys like dropped out on me, and I was just talking to to the air, which I'm fine doing. I was trying to see if I could fill some time. Josh Lord said, "What's up, man?" Scott says, "What's up?" Miguel says, watching from Philadelphia. How's it going? Hey, what's up, Philadelphia? It's going good. It's going good. You probably heard all my ramblings already, so I'm not going to go back. Let's see. Massachusetts is mandatory, says Joe. Says I didn't. Marco says I didn't have a mask, so I just wore a Bane mask that I had from a costume. Big John says I bought myself a Joker mask. Hell yeah. The 13th Wolfman. Hey, what's up? I'm sorry if it seems like I'm trying to look again. Look, you guys are full right here in the chat. I'm looking on my dashboard here. Nothing. So excuse me if I'm looking down a little too much. Scott says I haven't been anywhere since the virus happened. My mom and sister are going out for supplies while I watch our little brother. Hey, that in itself is a job, an awesome job to have. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what's necessary. Oscar Legend, would it be cool if George Lopez would be the future Spider-Man? No, what's wrong with you? Why are you being a troll, man? Big John, where did you get it at? If you're talking about the mask, my wife made it. You probably already heard. Sorry. Gary says, "Hey David, do you enjoy the DC universe?" I do, but do you think the Justice League failed because it tried competing with Marvel's Avengers? I like Justice League, but it just seemed rushed. Great question. And I do love the DC universe quite a bit. I'm not one of those that's very particular, like, oh, I'm only Marvel. I will say, though, to be perfectly honest, Marvel is my favorite. But I love any comic book movie. And I do agree quite a bit that I feel like DC had something really great going, but they started looking too much. I liken this all the time to what I try to do as a person, as a YouTuber, as a creator. I kind of stay in my own lane. I try not to look elsewhere for inspiration very much. And things like that, because I feel like I want it to be, me, unique. And so I think DC was doing that. They were kind of looking at Marvel and was like, oh, we want to do what they're doing. You know what I mean? And they essentially tried to do what Marvel did, because when Avengers came out, they're like, we want to do Justice League. And it's like, yeah, but Marvel kind of took their time and built it up to something like grandiose and big, this big event movie. DC just wanted to like throw in Justice League and do it essentially the opposite, and they're still struggling with that. They wanted to put out Justice League and then these other movies of the characters, after that, and that's not how you do it, because you want people to be familiar with the characters before going into a big team up movie like that, because if not, then all you're going to do is rush everybody's semi-origin in the team-up movie. And not many people will care, for the movies going forward after that. So yeah, I do think that they kind of did drop the ball. I will say though, I still enjoy all of them. I mean, even Justice League, as much hate as it gets and flack as it gets, and as weird story-wise as it is, I still enjoy it. Sorry for the long answer for a short question. Sorry. Martinez Joe, I snipered a Manta Lab brand new Deadpool 2 Precious Moments lenticular that I really wanted, and I got it for $41 shipped. That is awesome. I love that. Those are some of the releases that I'm gonna have to try to backtrack on as well. Half the time, again, when some of these like premiums go on sale, like the Manta Labs and the Film Arenas and the Blue Fans. Blue Fans is the one that I try my best. The Marvel Blue Fans, more specifically, are the ones that I try to keep keep ahead of, and get those as they come out. I've missed so many though, and I want to try to backtrack little by little with some of the awesome looking premiums out there. There's so many, and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, look up Manta Lab, Film Arena, Kimchi DVD, Blue Fans. I may be missing a couple. I can't remember, but look up some of the more premium editions of certain releases. You'll see some amazing stuff. Trust me. T&M Spalding, love you, bro. I always go to you to get advice on Blu-ray. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. At least, I try to at least give a decent opinion. I try to steer clear of, no, you should totally get this one. No, like, this is the one that I'm recommending, so you guys should get that. And I don't want to be that way. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you watching. Zach Livingston, do you like the Raid films? Hell yeah, dude. Fantastic. Underscore EAKD underscore free movie codes. You have some? Because I'm not giving any right now. Anyway, if you have some, hey, share the wealth. You know what I mean? Movie Master Marco, what is your favorite opening studio logo? I love the 20th Century Fox opening and the Universal logo. I will say, for a long time, I love 20th Century Fox is iconic with the fanfare and all that stuff. It's a little weird now that it's going to be like 20th Century Studios, or it is 20th Century Studios now. I haven't seen a movie with the new updated logo yet. But for some reason I have this connection to the Warner Brothers, where they show the Warner Brothers lot and it kind of dissolves into the Warner Brothers logo. I kind of like that one quite a bit. This is the week Avengers Endgame, the Endgame anniversary. How do you feel? Oh, man, I feel like I want to watch. And this was even before. This was the other day. I was telling my son I want to have a Marvel movie marathon, like from the beginning, chronologically. I have them on my shelf in chronological order, starting from Captain America: The First Avenger, and then Captain Marvel, and so on, so on, so on. I want to watch them like that, and end it with obviously with Endgame. But it would have been a nice day to watch it yesterday, because I think yesterday was the anniversary. Maybe I'll pop it in tonight. And or maybe I'll do maybe I'll do a double feature with Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah, I'll do that. Let's see here. Aaron Johnson says, "Do you enjoy the Ninja Turtles movies?" I'm mostly referring to the Jim Henson ones and the CG animated one that came after it. Yeah, I enjoy those quite a bit. Actually, I just the last live stream I was talking about how that set of movies that I have like a box set over here that it opens up like a pizza box. And I'll say that group of movies, even the third one, as kind of not good as it is, all of those movies I have a deep connection with, just because those are some of the first movies that I watched with my son when he was very, very little. Let's see here. Do you have Letterboxd? Says M. Lamoth. No, I don't. And everybody keeps telling me to get one, and I don't know if is it you guys would have to let me know. Is it mandatory to like write a whole review about a movie on there? Because I probably don't have time to do that. But if I can just go in and like check in a movie that I've seen and like rate it like star wise, and maybe drop a couple of little things, then I could probably do that. But yeah, people have been telling me to get one for years, and I was just like, man, it's just another social media app on my phone. I don't know. But I might. I literally was about to download it just 3 days ago. So maybe. Let's see here. Big John says, where'd you get... Oh, okay, I already answered that. Sorry. Let's see. Which comic book movie do you want the most? Fantastic Four or Kick-Ass 3? Um, Kick-Ass 3 would be cool. Like if they would figure out a cool story. I know they've been kind of continuing the comics here and there. But I would really, as much as the Fantastic Four has already failed a couple of times, I still enjoy them. I would love to see the MCU version of Fantastic Four. AK Master, hey, what's up? Let's see here. Martinez Joe says, trying to get the Alita Battle Angel Film Arena one click, but it's around $300. Yeah, damn. That's kind of, the most I've spent was like $250 on a one click. And I don't know, man. It would have to be like in a movie that I absolutely love. I would say $300 would be my limit. Maybe even with the movie that I really love. I'm not sure yet. I haven't been in that situation just yet. Let's see here. Since you've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, have you seen the sequel series, The Legend of Korra? I've seen the majority of it, and I thought it was really, really good. I never saw the end though, and I got I think I have a relative that was very much into The Legend of Korra, and she started telling me all about it, and I was like, oh man, that does sound pretty cool. So I might have to jump back in on it. M. Lamo says, yeah, you can just check it. Check in the film you saw. I think a lot of your viewers would like to see the films that you saw. Oh, okay, cool. I mean, if you guys think that would be an interesting thing to check out, I'll totally do it. Yeah. Ari says, what's up, Dave? What's up, Ari? Let's see here. Big John says, when you do the buyer's guides, what do you do the other Blu-ray copies? I keep them. I'm a collector. So I like to have, various versions and things like that, just like comic books. I'm a big, even before comic books, even before I was a Blu-ray collector, I collected comic books, I collected action figures. My biggest thing was collecting variants. With an action figure, if the paint scheme was different, I wanted to get that action figure. If a comic book had a different cover, I wanted to get that comic book, especially if it was a comic book that I really liked. And I'm a big sucker for connecting covers in comic books. So yeah, I keep them all. Occasionally, I'll give a copy to a family member or friend, things like that. But for the most part, I keep them. AK Master, would you like to see an MCU version of the X-Men? Hell yes, I would. I would love to see an MCU version of the X-Men. And I feel like, I have like this theory out there that they're gonna do something very, very cool with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and then the next upcoming Avengers movies that is gonna lead into the introduction of mutants. And I cannot wait for that. If they do that, I'm fine with them not, just throwing in an X-Men movie. They shouldn't. They really should not. They need to do exactly what they did with the Avengers, just on the X-Men scale. Introduce one mutant here, one mutant there, or somebody with weird powers, right? Things like that. And introduce them little by little to lead up to an X-Men movie. And I think that would be freaking amazing. I still remember the feeling that I got when I first saw the first Avengers movie, and they did that whole the panning scene where they go around all the Avengers and things like that. I legit had goosebumps in the theater, and I think seeing an X-Men movie done properly, especially after a slow build-up, and seeing them all grouped together in a movie, I think I would feel those same goosebumps, if not, even more so. Let's see here. Marco says, what's your favorite DC Comics opening logo? Mine is the one that they use for Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Superman Returns. Yeah, I dig that one. Yeah, I gotta stick with that one. That one was pretty good. Oscar says, which Home Alone movies do you like better? 1 and 2. All the other ones are I don't believe in them. Let's see here. Joe, did you watch the Wilsonian movie museum room tour? If you did, your thoughts. I did. And it was quite impressive. Go. I urge you guys, as if you're movie lovers, movie collectors, things like that. Go check out the channel that Joe is referencing. Is it Wilsonian Movie Museum? It's a mouthful for me, but yeah, go check that out. He has a room tour on there that is flipping amazing. Like it will blow your freaking mind, and I love stuff like that. Fantastic. Tony Stark says, "What do you think of John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic? I think Galactus should be the Thanos of the MCU moving forward." I am totally on board with John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. I think he fits the look and the personality quite well. Even his wife, Emily Blunt, it would be a fantastic Sue Storm. I think they would be so perfect, so perfect casting in the Fantastic Four movie. Let's see here. Gary says TWD meets Zombieland. I've been asked. I think that'd be cool because I love both groups of characters. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Something like that. Yeah, I mean, I think Walking Dead is obviously it's a lot more serious, and Zombieland's a lot more comedic. But a blend of the two would be pretty cool. Yeah, I dig it. AK Master, have you seen or heard of the YouTuber Jontron? Yes, I have. I've seen a couple of his things, but I don't know exactly what he looks like, to be honest with you. I think the things that I've seen, videos with him, were like voiceover videos. But yeah, I have heard of him. What about Jontron? Like, is there something interesting there? Oscar says, which Marvel characters do you like better, Disney or Sony or Fox? Disney. The MCU is the top tier for me, because they've done it so well. They've managed to do something that I don't know if it will ever be done again to the gravity of what they accomplished. 22 films telling one overarching story is pretty damn impressive, if you ask me. See here. Favorite David Fincher film? I just rewatched The Social Network on Netflix yesterday. David Fincher film. I'd have to really go back and look because I can't remember right off the top of my head. But Social Network is pretty fantastic. I don't know. I mean, there's always like the go-tos that people talk about with David Fincher, but let me see. Let me see if I can pull something up here so I can give you a proper answer. Let's see here. Because I get asked this stuff a lot, and then off the top of my head, sometimes it's hard for me to remember all these things. Alien 3. No, I'm joking. I'm totally joking. Well, see, like I was gonna say, people kind of go straight to the usuals like Fight Club and Panic Room and things like that. Those are great movies. I do love Gone Girl. Gone Girl is probably one of my favorite. Sorry, I have like a itch in my throat. But yeah, I would say Gone Girl. Zodiac is pretty awesome as well, though. So maybe that one as well. It's been a long... Okay, and then there's a Curious Case of Benjamin Button. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. What are you guys' thoughts on that movie? What did y'all like it? Let's see here. Tony Stark says, did you see the picture of Doctor Strange wearing the Iron Man suit? Yes, I did. And that's a pretty cool thing with concept art. You see a lot of could-be's, what ifs and things like that. That would have been a very interesting, dynamic in the movie if they would have did something like that. Which maybe we might see something like that, like an alternate version of Doctor Strange in his second movie. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Fincher did Fight Club, yes. Um, See, AK Master, you should watch Jontron's plug and play video game review in his flex tape video. I've seen the flex tape video. Now that you say that, I have seen the flex tape video. Aaron Johnson, would you like to see an update to if looks could kill? If it was much like the John Hughes film Ferris Bueller's Day Off. No, no. Martinez Joe says, "Do you have a favorite director?" I do, but I have a lot of favorite directors. Film directors, Tarantino is the first that comes to mind, to be honest with you. The stuff that he does is very fantastic. When I was younger, and I was kind of experimenting with, like, writing and directing and things like that, I would try to, do these little short films and just be very creative. Just be creative, and I that was one thing about my youth, and that I feel like I need to get back to, is just to keep being creative. I was creative like nobody's business. Like, I was always writing, and I was always like brainstorming. There was even a time in my life that I got into directing. Well, I shouldn't say directing, but it's more like putting together music videos. I literally am a do it myself kind of person. So I got with a bunch of bands here in town when I was like in my early to mid 20s, and I was doing a bunch of music videos for them, and I literally would shoot the video, do the sound, and edit, so it's things like that interest me the most. Whenever music videos were like my first love. I mean, I love movies, but I looked at music videos as like a bunch of short films. So as far as film directors, Quentin Tarantino, David Fincher, of course. I love Kevin Smith because he's a very DIY kind of director as well. And as far as music video director, I love Mark Romanek. I highly urge you to look up Mark Romanek's stuff. He's done some fantastic music videos out there. And then I cannot remember who directed Constantine, the Keanu Reeves Constantine. That director, and oh my god, I can't remember. I get these like brain farts. But he was always also a music video director that I admired quite a bit as well. Let's see here. What else? What are some of your favorite movie trailers of all time? I love the teaser for Watchmen. Trailer for Social Network. The teaser for Alien is scarier than the actual movie. Yeah, I do give you that. The Alien trailer is pretty awesome. I gotta go with first thoughts is the first Avengers trailer. The little teaser sneak peek that they gave at the end of was it Captain America? That one was pretty fantastic. Seeing that and the way it was all put together. What else? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I think there's Rocky 3 trailer. That one was awesome as well. That one gets me hyped up. Let's see here. What do you think of Stanley Kubrick? Yes, actually, he's another great, fantastic director as well. I love and seen the majority of his work. It's not for everybody though, because his work is very, you'd have to appreciate the art form of cinema. I feel like in order to really truly superbly enjoy his work quite a bit. I love it. So every time I see a Kubrick movie, it's a joy for me. Who else? I can't remember who directed a Ghost Story. Ghost Story is one of those movies that not a lot of people liked. I don't understand why. Oh, I know why. The biggest comment that I would see was that, well, there's not a lot of talking. And sometimes in movies, even though there's no talking, there's a lot being said. You know, that's one thing that I live by. I let the silence do the work, and I look and I feel the scene. And A Ghost Story had a lot of that. And oh man, that movie. As you know, as me being a husband and a father, I watched that movie and I was like ugly crying through that movie, especially towards the end. It was just like it was heart wrenching to me. But if you haven't seen it, I highly urge you to see it and watch it with an open mind. You know, I'll say that. Let's see here. I rewrote the Ferris Bueller spy film comment due to a typo. Typos usually happen. So I know. I honestly didn't truly understand the comment, so it's kind of why I glazed past it. Marco says, is Constantine underrated? Totally is. I feel like that's one of those movies I've seen numerous times, and I love it quite a bit. There's talk out there. It's probably just rumor, more than likely, that Keanu Reeves could be coming back to doing Constantine again at some point. Let's see here. My favorite director is Mario Bava, since I'm a big Italian horror fan. Yeah, man. He's pretty fantastic. I also love Lucio Fulci. And oh my God, Dario Argento, and obviously George Romero. You know what I mean? You see, it takes me a little while. When you guys give me a couple of examples, it works my mind. So those are some of my favorites as well. Joe says, I love Ghost Story. Yeah, man. It was fantastic. Marco says, have you seen Sorry to Bother You? It was one of the best films of 2018. Honestly, no, I haven't. I keep hearing the same thing too, and I don't think that I have it in my collection. But yeah, I have to check that one out. I keep hearing the same thing. I just haven't had the time to watch it yet. Kubrick's most mainstream films are The Shining and Full Metal Jacket, which shows that everyone loves those films more than his other films. Yeah, I mean that's true. Full Metal Jacket. My one of my friends he's a military guy, and that's one of his favorite films, obviously. It's one of those where it was very much. Well, I guess yeah, you kind of called it. You said mainstream. Everybody watched it. Everybody talked about it, and that's why it gained a lot more notoriety. And yeah, everybody I've talked to has seen both of those movies. Let's see here. Tony says, I love 2001. It's a deep and artistic and visually stunning movie. I love it quite a bit as well. I saw that one when I was a bit younger. I want to say my early 20s, I think. And my mom actually was the one that recommended me, like, watch it, you're gonna love it. Da-da-da. And I remember watching it the first time, and I didn't like truly get it. You know what I mean? And then after like another like two or three viewings, I was like, oh my God, like this movie just blew me away. You know, fantastic. Scott says, will you be getting Jaws and Parasite on 4K? Jaws for sure. Parasite, I don't know, because I don't feel like, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I feel like if I don't get it for Parasite specifically, if I don't get Parasite on 4K as a review copy, then I might not, just because I already have it on Blu-ray and it looks fine. It looks fine on Blu-ray. I don't. There's some movies that I feel like should be on 4K to do it justice and things like that. Parasite's not really one of them. It has its own fantasticness with the story itself. I think they have it on 4K as an import right now. Anyway, I think it is coming to 4K though here in the States. What are your thoughts on the rumor that Keanu might be playing Ghost Rider? That's news to me. I didn't hear that. I haven't heard that rumor, but I don't know if that's a good fit. I think Keanu would be fantastic as Mephisto in the MCU. I think he would be pretty awesome as a Mephisto. Let's see here. Gary says, "Did you hear about another Scream film? I love the franchise. I'm excited and a little bummed without Wes Craven, but at least we're getting a fifth movie." Yeah, I mean, with the passing of Wes Craven, of course, it's gonna sting a little bit. I loved Wes Craven. He's another one of my favorite directors as well. Wes Craven, man, like he's put out so much, like so many movies, so many franchises that are so like there's this dynamicness about them that it could be years in between, like you seeing a Scream movie, and then you'll go back and watch it and you're like, wow, this was still really good. Like it's still, for the most part, fairly holds up, But yeah, and I did hear about another one coming out. I hope it's good. I watched a little. I think it was like the first season of the TV show on MTV. And I'm very like weird about like watching those MTV shows. And they changed the mask and all that. But I will say that after watching the first season, like getting really deep into the first season, I completely forgot about the mask being different, and I kind of appreciated the story. Like I didn't watch anything after that though, so I don't know how it went. But but I thought the first season was great. Let's see here. AK Master says, "Have you seen Little Manhattan? It's a rom-com about a kid in New York who starts to like this girl who he hasn't seen in years. It's one of Josh Hutcherson's first films, and it's really funny, really underrated." No, I haven't. I gotta check that out. Let me see here. Okay. Little Manhattan. All right, let me. Okay. All right. Cool. On my list. There's another one of that was very underrated that I saw. I want to say it's called like The First Date or something like that, and it has the guy from the Maze Runner, the main guy from the Maze Runner. His name escapes me right now, like always, usually. But I remember I saw this movie, and I think it's called The First Date, and it's very much like a teen rom-com as well. I got that one for review very early when I started reviewing movies, and I knew nobody in the movie. I just took a chance and watched it, and I remember after watching it, I looked over to my wife and I go, that kid in that movie is gonna go, like he's gonna go somewhere. Like that kid's good. Like he's a great actor. And then like give it, I don't know, maybe like 6 to 8 months later, he was cast in the Maze Runner. And I was like, oh, it's Dylan something. Oh my God, it almost came. But yeah, it's him. And I was like, wow. So it's really cool to see like those movies where it's like somebody's first role, and then they end up, going and going to superstardom. It's pretty cool. Marie says, "Hi, CinemaDeviant." Hello, Marie. Marco says, "What are your thoughts on Noah Baumbach's filmography? Francis Ha's fantastic. Marriage Story is his best work yet." Oh man. Okay. He's a fantastic director. I haven't seen enough of his work, to be honest with you, to make a definitive comment. But if you've never heard of him, I would urge you to at least go back a little bit and see a couple of his movies. Or even if you just know Marriage Story. I was talking about this one the other day where Marriage Story, I purposely was like, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it because again, I feel like it would hit me a little too hard, you know. And I was like, I kept saying, I don't want to watch it, don't want to watch it, don't want to watch it. And then I watched a little bit, and I just like my eyes started welling up, and I'm like, oh nope, don't want to do this right now. I'm going away. I'm walking away from this, and I still have not seen like the second half of it or something like that. But phenomenal director. Very man, that dude, he knows where to hit you. I'll say that. Marco says, "Gotta go. Stay safe out there. You're the man." Thank you, Marco. At least for popping in and saying what's up. I appreciate it. Tony Stark, unpopular opinion. I really enjoyed Justice League. So did I. I'm part of that unpopular opinion. Oh, AK Master, you totally went there. Asking Tony Stark, do you think the Snyder Cut will ever be released? I don't think that there is a Snyder Cut, and I hopefully you guys don't try to like digitally like smack me in the face, but I really don't think that there is. I think what we have is a lot of ideas and maybe storyboards and things that it could have been shot, but there's no full movie in place. I don't think. Tony Stark says I don't think there's no Snyder Cut, just minor tweaks to concept art. Literally, just what I said. That's exactly what I think it is. I would love to see a Snyder Cut though. Don't get me wrong. If they can figure something out and let Snyder do his thing, which I think at this point WB's kind of like, we don't want to talk to you anymore because of all this stuff, because of the whole release of Snyder Cut stuff. But if they could figure something out and let him film a couple things or whatever, it's gonna be really weird though, because after so many years, I don't know if it's gonna take getting everybody back together as well, and having everybody look the same. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen at this point. Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate though. Oscar says, "Man, I wish they didn't cancel Spider-Man 3 and 4. Also, the Amazing Spider-Man 3 and 4." Well, yeah, I knew that there. Well, no, they didn't cancel Spider-Man 3. They canceled Spider-Man 4, the original Tobey Maguire one. Spider-Man 3 was the one with Venom that was a little too overpopulated. I'll say that. But yeah, 4 was supposed to have Vulture and I forgot Black Cat. Yeah, that would have been cool to see. I would have dug that. And then yes, I think they were supposed to do Spider-Man 3 and 4, and also a Sinister Six movie with those villains. And that was unfortunate. I still will go on record and say I love Tobey Maguire. He captured the absolute nerdy side of Peter Parker that I love so much. Andrew Garfield, I thought Andrew Garfield in the Amazing Spider-Man movies was great as well. The thing with him is that he captured the cooler side of Peter Parker. They made him like a cool guy. That's not really who Peter Parker is, but I will respect the character that they try to establish. And I think Tom Holland captures both of those characteristics combined in his Spider-Man. So I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. See here. J-Man says hello. What's up, J-Man? Sorry, that was weird. All right. Tony Stark says Zack Snyder equals dark scenes. Yes, lots of dark scenes. Somebody was asking me. It might have been one of you guys. Was asking me about Watchmen and how I felt about Watchmen, and I love Watchmen. But yeah, you could see it's very Zack Snyder-esque. He has a particular style to him that you just can't like. You look at something, you're like, oh yeah, that's Zack Snyder. Even 300. I mean, you look at that, and it's a very particular way of doing things, and it's not bad. It's just very like on the nose. When it's him. Scott says, I bet a live-action Spider-Man Spider-Verse will make $1 billion with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland. That would be amazing. I would love to see something like that. Now there are those rumors going around that maybe they're thinking about doing that down the line. I would say, hell yeah, I'd be on board for that if they could get everybody, going and stuff like that, and throw in even a couple of new Spider-Man in there to kind of, round out, some of the cast and stuff. If you've never seen the last episode of Spider-Man the Animated Series from the 90s, you have it was essentially pre-Spider-Verse, but it's basically what Spider-Verse was before Spider-Verse was Spider-Verse, and I hate having to keep saying Spider-Verse, but go back and watch that cartoon, and you'll see what I mean. If they do something like that, just even if it's just like background Spider-Man, things like that'd be really, really cool. Tony says, I love the Sam Raimi trilogy because of all the memes. Of course. The Sam Raimi trilogy is very meme heavy. And I love that about those movies as well. And it's even gotten to the point in the house where, my son has seen those movies like, oh my God, so many times. And he knows the Sam Raimi trilogy of Spider-Man movies like in and out, like nobody's business. And we'll walk by each other randomly, or he'll just walk into a room and go, da-da-na-na-na, da-da-na-na-na. And that's just a testament of how cool those movies were and how much we love them. Let's see here. Holy crap, we're already at 51 minutes. That's kind of nuts. This whole day is flying by this whole episode is flying by really quickly. I'm going to throw on my mask to go fight in Mortal Kombat. Dun, 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 dun. Mortal Kombat. No, I'm joking. This is very comfortable though. Pizza time, back to formula. Oh, you can't do this for me. You know how much I sacrificed? Oscar says, will you do a buyer's guide for Birds of Prey just like the others? Like Wonder Woman, Justice League, and CZ. I don't know what that is. Oh, Suicide Squad? But yeah, that's the plan. I'm planning on it. I'll have to see how it goes. There's a pretty good amount of exclusives for Birds of Prey. And I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. What about you guys? What did you guys think about it? It is a little bit different, a little bit of a different character for Harley Quinn to a certain extent. I mean, she's still the same, Harley, but there's something about her that just seems a bit different. Not in a bad way, but I enjoyed the team up aspect of it. It was really cool. I enjoyed it quite a bit. All right. Well, we're at 53 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and end this episode of the quarantine live stream. This is episode number 5, Judgment Day. Dun dun dun. That's funny because I picked Judgment Day for the little subtitle of this live stream. Whenever I cook, I'm making dinner or lunch or whatever. I'll have like my spatula and the pan, and if I'm trying to get something off the spatula, my first go-to hit that I make or beat that I make with the spatula to the pan is dun 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 dun, and it's like a reflex. I always go to that for some odd reason. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate your amazingness and you guys just being here and hanging out. It's fun. It's been fun. We're gonna keep doing this. I think for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're gonna do another one we'll do Thursday, same time, just so that way you guys know to be here if you guys can. Anyway, I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much, and we will catch you next time. I will catch you next time.